All right, guys. Now let's see this. It's going to be how many Odins? 1, 2. I'm feeling like there's at least one. Welcome back, crew. We have another Ace video for you today. Been wanting to do this for some time. Ace was bugged out on the sim for a bit there. He's all resolved and you can get all the Ace action that you need. Really excited for this one because I've been wanting to showcase the Yamato for some time, and the impact this card has for this deck is really good. Now, if you want to jump ahead to the games, we've got in the description down below everything timestamped so you can jump to where you want to go to. The games I've lined up for you today are both against Green Zoro from OP12. Really good matches. I tried to get one where Ace is doing what it wants to do, and one where it hasn't found its pieces and still does what it wants to do. So do check those out. If you haven't seen Ace, any of my Ace videos before, or if you want to see the updates to the deck, stick around now and I'll go through this deck in its entirety. So let's start with the leader just quickly in case you haven't seen this leader before. Don times 2. Activate main once per turn. You look at the top 5 cards of your main deck and then you place one of those 5 costs onto the top of your life face up. And then you shuffle the other one, you place the other ones to the bottom of your deck. Now, this is why this leader is so good. It's basically able to heal very easily if you have enough 5 costs in your deck. But at the end of your turn, you have to send all of your face-up life cards to the trash. So where you thought you may have healed, you haven't. You still need to do something about this. Now, we have a couple of cards in our deck which can solve this for us. The primary one is Sanji. This is our start game, is centered around Sanji and healing with Sanji. So Sanji is Don times 2. When attacking, you may add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand. Add 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. Solves the problem automatically and gives us card draw. Couldn't ask for more. But it's also a 2k counter, so we got more. Once we find it in the early game, we don't need it in the later stages of the game, but it just converts to a 2k counter. So this is the card. You need 4 of this in your deck if you're playing Ace, no matter what. The other 2 healers we've got are both really good ones. So I'll start with Viola. Viola is a blocker to start with, but cost 2. On play, choose one of the following. Look at all of your opponent's life, then return them in any order. Not one that we typically use, but it comes up more than you'd think that we've already healed for turn and we don't need to use the second effect. Then just allows us to tamper with our opponent's life and make it optimal for us. Now, the second effect is just turn all of your life face down. Now, the other card we've got is the Hiyori. Hiyori is an amazing card as well. On play, you may put the top or bottom of your life pile into your hand. It's usually going to be the top because you're doing this from the Ace effect. You've got your face-up card from Ace. You then take it, put it into your hand, choose one from your hand and put it back at the top of your life. Pretty good. Solves our problem. We're healed. Also, it allows us to play out the trigger cards that we're running here. Now, let's jump into our trigger options. We have, I feel like Satori is the one I look for the most. Mostly because it's a 2k as one. And secondary, it has the trigger effect that you may trash 1 card from your hand and play this card. So Satori, we're finding Satori from Ace. We can then have it at the top. We use Hiyori, we take it to hand. We might just put it back there because we can just play it as a body really easily. Some other trigger cards we might put there is the Nami to get a KO effect. KOs are 5 cost or less. Or the Brûlé to trigger a body onto the board, which is also a blocker. Now, let's talk about the 5 costs that we run here. We are running, I believe it's 6 unique 5 costs, but we're running a total of 25, which we are almost guaranteed to find what we need here. I think typically if you have about 18 to 25 costs in your deck, you are likely to get the hit when you do your Ace Leader effect. With 25, I would say 1 in 2 games you're missing once. So pretty good hit ratio if you're running this many. You can dial this back if you want, if there's something else that you think you need in this deck. So we've got Garp here. Pretty good. When you've got 2 Don attached to him, your opponent can't activate blocker against this card. So pretty good for getting through this blocker board states that we're currently seeing in the meta. And yeah, it comes up useful. We're only running 2 because it's not necessary for the game. Let's talk about these 2 together because they're almost the same card. Nami slightly better. So they're both blockers. Nami is if your leader, if your leader's multicolored, we get that. Draw 3 cards. Aces only draw 2 cards. Draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck in any order, same as Ace. Pretty good for finding the cards that we need. The other one we've got here is this Luffy. He is a blocker. If you've got 5 or more cards in your hand, this character can't block though. It's still a 7k power. That's why I really love this card. Also a 1k counter. Not too bad. Could be replaced if you have a different 5k mind. I would be, I think this would be the one that I would change out first. And the other 2 5ks we've already talked about. We've got Satori 2k. This is always the one I look for first, unless I've got something specific in mind, like a KO. Alright, so they're the 5ks. Let's talk about the main centerpiece of this deck, Odin. Odin is God. This, I think, is the best card printed to date. Hands down. 7 cost, 8000 power. Has this static effect. If this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may instead trash 2 cards from your hand. This means can't be removed in any state, not by KO, not by bottom decking, not by Katakuri throwing it into life. Can't be removed from the field. You do have to trash 2 cards, but if you've got 6 in hand, you can do this effect 3 times in the 1 turn. So very sticky body. It's also an 8k body, so it's hard to swing into and remove anyway. But if you're worried about your opponent swinging into you and removing it, you've got this other effect here. This effect, activate main once per turn. You may rest 3 of your Don and return 1 of your other characters to your hand. Set this character as active. Really good when you can find a cheap character that you can play onto the board, like a Yamato or one of these 2 costs, because you can play that onto the board and return it, effectively restanding this for very cheap. What this really allows us to do though, is it allows us to attack with Odin and restand him. If we're worried about our board state being weaker than our opponent, we can attack and not lose our board state, which is always very threatening to our opponent because we can play it in sort of 2 ways. We can use our 1-man board state to overcome their board, or we can just attack at life and apply pressure and heal at the same time so our opponent can't apply that same pressure back to us, putting them in a really awkward position. So if you haven't actually seen the Odin Hiyori loop, do check out my video on that. I'll put the link up here. I'll quickly go through what that is because it is something that you need to know in playing this deck. It is a busted combo, you got to get on it. Essentially, on a 10 Don turn, you can do it on your 9 Don turn as well if you played this one on 7, but let's say you're doing 10, you throw 2 onto your ace, you do your search, you get your hit. You put that onto the top of your life face up. You then throw 3 Don onto Odin, swing at whatever you think is the best target at the time, and you've got now 5 Don left. You play out a 2 cost. Like Hiyori, you take that top life and then you replace it with something better. Maybe blocker, maybe a body, maybe KO. Now, with the remaining 3 Don, you restand Odin, returning Hiyori back to hand. And now you started your turn with Ace and Odin, and you finish your turn with Ace and Odin and an extra life. You will also have done a 7k swing and a 11k swing, so you would have done a substantial amount of damage to your opponent. If you feel safe that you can throw another swing with Odin, then you can attack with a second 11k swing. Very damaging turn as a whole, and you're healing, so really, really strong. I can't stress how strong this is. You just got to play it and enjoy it. You can do a similar loop with this Kuma here. It's not as strong and it's a bit more clunky to set up, but with this Kuma loop, what you can actually do is, once it is set up, once you've got Kuma on board and Odin on board, you can do a 7k swing with Kuma, do a 9k swing with Odin, and a 5k swing with Ace, and then return this one to hand, play it out again, so you're returning it by restanding this, play it out again and heal. So I haven't gone through this Kuma yet. Kuma is new to OP12. What this card does is, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, add the top card of your deck to the top card of your life. Then this character gains +2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Also, on your opponent's turn, when KO'd by any means, you gain a life. So very strong card as a whole, and when you're combining with Odin and swinging extra bodies and gaining life, really strong overall. Now, the other cards we haven't gone through yet is we have Red Rock and Gravity Blade. These are excellent tools for removal in the current game state. You've got them handy. You can remove either high-end or wide strategies. And they're both trigger cards as well, actually, so you can load up your life with Hiyori with these if you want to get free KOs. Last card to talk about is Yamato. Yamato is a new addition to this deck. Really strong overall because not for its top effect, but for its on play. So the main strategy in our deck is the Odin Hiyori loop. Thankfully, Odin is a Lander 1-0 type, and Hiyori is a Lander 1-0 type, meaning they're both searchable from our Yamato here. So if we are missing a piece of the puzzle, we can use Yamato to help find that piece and make our deck more consistent. This is one of the additions into the deck which has really found consistency and made this a contender for the meta, in my opinion. I think that's all the cards we need to go through. Other one here is Pudding. Pudding is a no-brainer. She can disrupt so good. They've got 9 cards in hand. No, they don't. Now they've only got 5. You've gotten rid of 4 cards for the cost of 4. You can't get that with any other card. So really, really strong. Let's jump into those games and have a look at how this list goes against that green Zoro. Alright, we have our Ace, we have our Zoro. Let's go second. We get to choose. Not a bad hand, but we're going to mulligan anyway. Into a worse hand. We've got nothing we want to see. What we want to see is a Sanji, a Hiyori, and an Odin. And I'm just going to play this out because I can. Use card action, take the top here, and another Hiyori. We'll drop this on top and see how we go. Don't think I've got the counter even to stop. Okay, they're just going light. I do have the counter. Not sure what they're playing out for 3. I could see a Hiyori being 1, 2. Restand. Okay. Okay. Defend that too. 2 cards. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's see what we can put at the top then. There's an Odin. There's 1 down. Grab an ace and swing here. And rather than Hiyori, I'm just going to play this down. I think that's a safer one. We're holding our Hiyori for later for Odin. Potentially it's a 2k. We can recycle this back with Odin anyway. And we're going to take this hit. We've now got an ace. We can go searching. We want to find our Odin. Didn't find our Odin. We're going to place then... I think we're going to place on the bottom. I'm just trying to work out what we want to place here because actually I'll do the nummy. It's easy because I can use one of these for the nummy here. Yep, this is good. End turn. We're in an okay position. If we find the Odin soon, if we find it next turn, yes. If we don't, that was strong. And here's a double swing, 1, 2. Not worth defending that one. Take that. Let's kill this thing and we'll draw a card from that too. So that would be worth it. All right. Not where we want to be, guys. Not where we want to be. Do our search here. No Odin, which I'm thankful for. No 5 cost though. So, I'm just going to sort of show how stuck we are here. Get rid of a 2k and then take a life. All right. Mihawk turn. Restand. Hit. Leave one up for waterfall. Kuina. Which adds a Don anyway. Strong play. Very strong play. Like it. And taken this one. No Odin. Odin. Thank goodness we got Odin. We're at risk of being KO'd. Also. I can't heal an Odin. So we're just going to do a 6 here. Drop Viola and Odin. Sort opponent's life sounds good. Let's put that one in the middle. That one last. Maybe I want that one first. Like that. Sounds good. And where's our Odin? Here he is. All right. Could be okay. We're definitely going to be on the back foot. Definitely going to be on the back foot.
Okay. Not what we want to see. We do have some 2Ks we can burn. There's 5K that I'm happy to get rid of. They can attack with this as well. This is 2-2 and I can get rid of the last one. This is okay. We're okay here. Just. I think they will attack with the Mihawk. They can restand and still take a life. And Mihawk into Odin. Yep. No, thank you. And take this life. 2K, that's good. All right, Nami, okay. We're just going to go for some healing here. Let's do that, shall we? Find a 5 cost. Got our pick of the crop. We'll go for a 2K. Swinging in, I think they've got no Don up, which is great to see. Gonna swing in here. Try and take this thing down. Don't think that's gonna happen. Probably should have distributed differently and gone for, say, 2 here and 1 extra on there. But this is okay still. We just want to get rid of Mihawk primarily. Take that thing down. Drop this. Use action. Take the top of life. And I might play this one down instead. And let's restand him. We're good to go. All right, so let's do a quick check here. They got 3, we got 2. 1 each on board. Ours is a stronger on board. That is a good one to find. We've got a slightly bigger hand. Basically, we're both starved though. So it's at this point though that our deck starts to outvalue theirs and starts to create a gain. The game, I would say right now, was in their favor and we're at a tipping point. So we're probably going to have to take this. It's only a 9 though. I mean, I can counter out of it, but I think I want to save that to get rid of the card. Let's use this effect. There's one less to deal with. So when we do heal next turn, there's another one. Interesting. Yeah, so we can heal again this turn. It's not enough though. That's not great, not great. They don't have enough to defend out. They shouldn't block anything here. They won't block this. I'm going to leave 1 up just because they're not going to even think about defending that. We drop the Hiyori. Take the top life. We're going to put down a body? No. We're going to put this one down because it has no counter. Restand this. Now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've got 10, which might not be enough. So we're going to do this. Interesting. Okay. They have a choice here. They're going the defensive path. Let's do a quick maths check here. Because they can swing here, then swing there. So we need 4. Let's do this 4 to counter out of this one. And what have we got left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should safely get out of this. Take that hit. So we'll do a 2, a 2, and a 2. And we're good. We take this hit. No trigger. Don't want to use Hiyori though. Which means we need to do, if they swing 8 at face, we need to do 4 here. But if they swing 8 at face, they risk lethal. So they might not even swing. I think they're looking at this going, he's got a Don up. He could easily get out of that. Not worth the risk there. All right, we are going to have a look. We need a heal. We find a healer. We're going to go for counter. How to play this out? I think if we do 8 here, 9. We go for 9. No, we go 8. We just do 8. Interesting. Interesting that they took that, which means they might lose this one here, which could be game for us. Unless they've got another Hody. Oh, I hate that card now. All right. They should be taking this. We want to drop a Hiyori. Use card action. We're going to take the top card. We're going to put down a blocker. This is awesome. Return this one, and we're going to swing in again. Forcing a block. Now they've only got 1. This is game. So even if they Hody here and get the rush out, we're going to drop down a blocker. So their best bet, I don't know. Do you throw all of your Don on and swing into Odin, swing into face? Leaving 2 up. Now we want to counter out of this. We got 2, 4 is 11, 12, 13, 14. We can get out of this exactly. Oh, I had one more. Probably would have wanted to keep one of the nummies. And now they've conceded. They don't see a way through this. Knowing that they didn't leave 3 up meant it was safe for me. They would have been better off to leave 3 up and attack in. And that would have bluffed me into thinking maybe they've got that restand card, because if they've got the restand card, I couldn't afford to then defend this, defend that, and take another life. But, you know, I actually could, because if they swung into here and I defended it, they swing again. They can actually use that second swing in here and third one in here, but then they can't win. And if they throw the next 2 in here, I put down the blocker and block out the last one. So I actually had them covered no matter what, but they would have been better off not knowing that this was going to come out as a blocker. They would have been better off to play 7 onto this and swing in. Anyway, this is Ace into Zoro. Let's find one more. I want to do one with a really bad hand just to show you how good this deck is. All right, Ace versus Zoro. Let's do this. We want second. Good. Keep that. Probably won't be able to use these. This is all we've got going for us, but that's fine. Yeah, we're missing our Hiyori. We're missing our Odin. See how we go. See how we go. The great thing about this ace, right, into this Zoro is even if you miss your major pieces, you can still get there. The start half is a drag, but after that, it all starts coming together. Good, good. Always like to see when we don't have like Odin and Hiyori in that top. Take that one, gain one. Yeah, it just hurts so much when you see like you don't have an Odin and then you do your top 5 search and there's like 3 Odins in there because you know you're not going to see it for another 30 cards. All right, and one of these, they might block this one. No, taken. All good. 5 versus 4. All right, they've got the Cavendish here. Cool. Not worth... I mean, we're on 4 Don. Maybe I do defend this. They might load up on here. And then I'll do another 2. I might do it. I wouldn't usually defend this because it's just so hard to defend in general. That, you know, next turn they'll be throwing 3 on this Zoro and swinging in here and here. So, okay, we get to keep it. That was relatively cheap to keep the Sanji. Hiyori, like it. All right, guys, now let's see this. It's going to be how many Odins? 1, 2. I'm feeling like there's at least 1. There you go. This is good. We're 10 cards closer to finding this Odin. Now, we can't let this one live. So I'm going to take this one here. Use card action. And this should get rid of their blocker. Can't do anything else with it, so... Right, I mean, I could play this blocker, but it's not worth it. The blockers aren't great in this matchup because of this Zoro being able to, like, you can't block a hit to your leader. And this is why this deck goes so well against it, because we're okay taking hits into our leader because we're able to generate life so easily. We're also, once we establish this Odin, which we want to see very soon, once we establish the Odin, they have a hard time dealing with our board. So this deck would otherwise be able to clear boards without any trouble because of this ability here, swinging at board, then swinging at leader. It basically doesn't cost them anything to attack. I'm going to take this. Kuma. There's a good play if we don't find Odin. And taking this one. And we'll use a Kuma to heal another one. Yeah. All right. So I won't heal this turn then. I'm going to attack into leader still. I would do Cavendish. I just want to get rid of blockers really, but we'll get rid of Garp. No, we'll get rid of one of these. Well, maybe I'll do that next turn if we don't. I'll get rid of Garp. If we don't find Odin next turn, I'm just going to Gravity Blade or Red Rock. I was going to save the Red Rock for this one. But doing a Gravity Blade on this and say a blocker might also be good. Take that one. Let's use this on the Cavendish.
which this one can stop actually. So now we might do a swing into this guy. Take this. Trigger. We'll get rid of the nummy. This game is not going how they usually go. It's quite interesting. They're playing a lot more bodies on the board than you typically see. I might save 4 for this effect. 6. So let's start with an attack on this. This has to die. Well, it doesn't have to die. We just want to make sure we can clear this one here. We're going to do 2 on leader. See if we can find a 5 cost. We haven't seen a single Odin. It's getting weird, right? Do we have 3 Odins here or something? All right, we're going to swing in again. Here. And then I'll do another one in here. Actually, I need to get rid of Mihawk first because he can easily block this. I should have done that before this swing, but that's okay. And then I'll drop the Viola. All right, so we're back to 4. Hands are pretty neutral. Board is pretty neutral. I feel like they've still got the advantage here in general. For the moment. We're at turn 6. Next turn. We haven't seen the Odin. This is our only problem. But even without it, we can still win this. From here, we can still generate life with these. So we've got another 2 life we can get here. Plus potentially 1 here if they swing at it. And if they don't swing at it, we're hurting them. So see what they choose to do here. Let me know in the comments, in this current state right now, which board state do you prefer? Would you prefer to be the Zoro player right now, or would you prefer to be the Ace player right now? Love to know what you guys think. Personally, I feel it is a bit 50-50. I don't know what their hand is. If they've got, another Mihawk in hand, which they probably don't because they didn't play it. But if they've got another Mihawk in hand, they could be doing pretty good. But they've still got a few turns to go. So they're in a good position. I think because we don't have Odin, we're not in a good position. Won't trigger that one. Take this on as well. All right, we need to find an Odin, so let's see what we can do. We'll place... going to place on the top because then we can guarantee our search and minimize. Now we've got basically a 3 and 5 of 3 of the 5 cards could possibly be an Odin, so we've reduced the amount of whiffing an Odin. Do this. No Odin, that is good. We'll grab 2k and we'll do I could do a Hiyori for the Nami. Might do that as a play. I guess this is going at face. We got 3 blockers up. Once again, blockers aren't any good to us. Except for the board.
And Hiyori here, use card action, take the top. Now, it might have been better to have a body to play out, but I'm feeling as though we might need to KO something here. We'll get rid of this thing. Yep. Okay. Down to 8. So they can still Mihawk here. They've got a decent sized hand now. This is actually a bit of a threat on the board, so right. 3 here. This could be potentially the 3 to restand this Zoro. Going into Nami. They can't swing it with anything else, so I'm actually going to block that. And then that has to be face, which is fine. We take one to the face. And we'll drop this thing. And there's Odin. Coming a little bit late here, Odin. We've got a 5 cost, so maybe we heal. I mean, let's attack this. Get rid of that thing. 2 more here. I mean, I could split Don. Having 3 blockers up should be enough. So, 6, it's another 3. I'll just do 2 here and 4 there. I think that's the play. And if they do manage to block out of this one, then we do the 4 into this one. No, they didn't. And this might not go through, and I'm okay with that. It'll get rid of their hand, and then we'll be prime for the next one. So we will drop down the Viola this turn. And then we've got 5k in counter. Bump that up to 6. And yeah, we'll win this one for sure. And that'll be without using Odin at all. Just showing you the strength of Ace as a leader. All right. They counted out. I probably could have got through if I attached these 2. But that's okay. We are fine with that. 3 blockers. They're going to have to basically attack with their Zoro solo. Even then, they still can't do it. They have to hit here and hit twice with Zoro, meaning they need that buff card, the restand card. I keep forgetting what it's called. The Luffy will be the Pirate King card. No, they can't play it. They don't have enough to play it. So let's block this. Or do I just take it? If I take this, then I might... It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They don't have enough counter, so... this was the card I was talking about. They needed this card to have a chance to win there. We just had too many blockers, too much of everything to for that to be a problem. But if they did have this card, like they could have played this one, rest one thing here. That doesn't rest. That's the other one, the other demon card I was thinking of. yeah, I just don't think they had a way through. This is Ace into Zoro when Ace doesn't go well. Still goes well. Hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a like if you did like this. And yeah, until next time, please do look after yourselves and look after your decks.